In addition to carbon groups, we can also add halogen to enolate. We're going to look at two reactions that do this, one under acid conditions and then one under base conditions. The first one is the acid-catalyzed halogenation of ketones. The observed reaction looks like this. We start with a ketone. We treat it with a halogen like Cl2Br2 in acetic acid. At the end of the reaction, we will have replaced an alpha hydrogen with a halogen. This reaction only works on ketones. Aldehydes are oxidized to carboxylic acids under these conditions. The mechanism for this reaction works in three parts. In the first part, we actually do a keto to enol tautomerization under acid conditions. We've talked about the mechanism of that in an earlier section. But to summarize, we protonate the C double bond O oxygen. It then has a resonance structure, and we deprotonate the alpha carbon of the resonance structure to make an enol. An enol is essentially an alkene. It just has an extra OH on it. We saw in first semester that alkenes will react directly with bromine and chlorine to do an halogenation reaction, a reaction where we remove the double bond and add a halogen to each carbon. The mechanism of this from first semester looked like this. The double bond comes out and makes a bond to one of the two halogens. That halogen comes and connects to the other carbon of the double bond. And one of the halogens leaves as a halide leaving group. This forms a three-membered ring with a positive halogen in the ring. The halide ion then comes and does a nucleophile backside attack on the ring, breaking open the ring and resulting in two halogen atoms attached where there was formerly a double bond. At this point, then, we can see an example of why alcohols can't have leaving groups like halogens attached to the alcohol carbon. The oxygen has a pair of electrons, which can push down toward the alcohol carbon. When there's a leaving group attached, like a halide, it can result in pushing out that leaving group and forming essentially a protonated carbonyl. If there's any base present, then that carbonyl will be deprotonated to make it stable. And so, in general, when we have a hydroxyl group and a leaving group attached to the same carbon, it won't stay as an alcohol. It will instead decompose to form a ketone or aldehyde or similar carbonyl-containing functional group. In this reaction, usually halogenation on the more substituted side is preferred because the more substituted enol is formed preferentially because it is more stable. In other words, we get the equivalent of a thermodynamic enolate.